wow mauba. I'm also entitled to say a kind of transactional and I say a transactional business and a relationship. Also, be man, we went to Abama, me to my we so say na obeboa me. Na wa ba na wo Muhammad ya said the way me hwamo. That is the concept omudi wro mutim. Enti say omoba the expectation is very very high and I'm telling you the NDC youth, you see they say na I say what my party, you know, they have made the party to be more beneficial than the other Ghanaians. You see, Ghana no abechi too. Aban biya ba na the party na waswa. The party should rather benefit more than the other Ghanaians. That is what we have been doing all this while. Until party no members, you know, you cannot say the omo can say yeah matisi bim so a demonstration seriously there's a lot of heat within the NDC fraternity because they especially the youth, you know. So these things say omo abre to say the wo kan ya bre na abehwe yesisi fo nkrofobia eni momo eni ho mu firi hin fa bam ai mam peke enkrofo a yentimi nya access to government but that is what they told them. They told them this one campaign mko mo ho muntu abama yen yetu abama ye behwemo. So party na be recruitment center for employment as an employment agency. Oh yes. And they say open adwuma no anko join ni omo a. You can't be employed. So that is what has been turning up. Say they say open adwuma na say wonya party ni ana yibia na. Yemfa. So the young ones realize say no. Mami fa mo join any party bi. Na party ni ba. Menya adwuma ye. That is how we are building ourselves. And they say political party instead to say ombe make sure the policies be ba more mind resources ni be you know. Omo ankasa sa additional agency to become a recruitment or NDC recruitment agency, NPP recruitment agency and also no oba be join the party. Most of them, the young ones, intention is that have to join the party so the party ni ba me BBI, which is not wrong because only BBI and the system is also not fair to people who are genuinely want to get job to do that they will go through the system. It's not fair. Ube say na party card odi party oni yi na to nchen we say constituency that is how we have groomed ourselves into our the new democratic dispensation. I
like the way you label it. The new democratic dispensation. You must necessarily belong to a political party.
Yes.
And sana ubenya baby edu.
Which is seriously not the way we have to go. Enyekra. So say ebesa ba party for now. Mbasa no ma abeko. So momo madwuma nyombe sese wonnyoma saa, and then maybe especially to use that word, the common sense will come into most of these situations, and then they will set up not to woo young ones or people into the party with the intent of getting them jobs.
But if that's not attractive, how else would the parties campaign?
You see, party no, an avenue. What's it? And no nama. Obia join the party. Party, no, political parties are to come in and manage the affairs and our resources of the country. Benefit. So you don't come in now for the new ground food team. Say Obe join here. These are easy. So the priority of joining the party, no, or one miss representing. I'm gonna join the party. You will get something to do, which is not being the case. Join the party, make sure say yeah ideals now, you believe in it. Say yeah 24-hour economy, WGD, and this banner economy you also get an opportunity. But no, they will go to them and tell them, say, who be join the party now? Who be near Jumaye? A Jumana be and Yabeshamu. And you see this when they are going on the campaigns, you see them telling them, come in, we will give you this. And even the top wedding in Andros has one idea. So yeah, MC, so yeah, ningina yeah, they use it as a motivation for them to work hard. Oba ambassador ebe maobi, oba CEO ebe maobi, oba ebe pe baby amwashe. These are what they use to roll a lot, even the top senior party members, so that they almost do more resources. Ibe rap party into oba. Now for the system no etwa fa no kom ho a osike anye yi. Et said there me mama Anita air complaining say baby de na kwhye na onimobia o na say emni no onimobia say the time na twemo say dey you no mo de na kwhye kona bi so then sa anti e won nyina say party de akoye ni o tibi akobi ti kojo de e kono de is very very bad, and yanhwe yi a it will end up in a chaotic situation. People might lose interest in our democratic system. At the same time, no party for no so penny for no more they will also manage the party at the as an agency to recruit people for employment opportunities. Now we understand that nobody feels the intent of political parties. We see the democratic system, and political parties are earmarked for some of these, but maybe a secondary benefit of being a member of a party, but we should not make it a priority. And nobody here campaign. Even most of the parties are doing it for a campaign. The MPP coming out with this kind of saying new membership winning in Masa mumbro yeba member juma yo mumbro yeba yo. And we have a lot. Look at 500,000 and 5,000. And we probably need a ratio be na betim bia ya benya percentage.
Anopay na minua ba ko chire mu no chire mu a mass ne nka.
Mass ne nka o no ni mass
1%.
1%.
1
of
I say 500,000, 10% near 50,000. So a tenth of it, no, 1%.
Hey, say me mass ni you. There's a 1% of the number.
Yes.
And the binya kwenya.
Hey, no. Ye chichema when I go nya bi.
Baby, baby, nya bi na ye no ye be.
Baby, so do.
But as they say, they say omodi kan at the medicals no. Omayi ya manaka nipa be 100,000 no mo ko show aptitude.
The way we nyare kwa be yare by force because you bet me you were free.
So they be aware. Some 400,000 are out.
Protocol no nka ho.
Protocol ni bi account 5,000.
5,000. And say you be 3,000. But protocols no say no so e very 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 secure.
Doctor say me anto ankomo no. I say the only but in a political partisan democracy, because that's what we practice, a partisan democracy. Sa enema we is it surprising?
Surprising, they not surprising at all. So we will be would name the fiber of the Ghanaian politics, and yes, surprising at all. But and this happens so we didn't have free your orientation about partisan politics. Said the 18 because if I'm a person joining MPP, me person joining NDC. And I was a junior banner say me person me boa esum me my Ghana. So person was suma because you can say the president the chief servant. Now I will share na CBR no. Senka o my Ghana na oba besom. But said you na me nua panyin di kanka no. Nipa dodo na adwene a ye join political parties ne say woko no wakọ akonya bibi efrimo. Na woko akonya bibi efrimo no. Emmatem bia yenya sa unrealistic expectations bebre. Now we have a typical example say currently NDC is at the helm of affairs. Na Anita kasa wakasa no. My main starting free ne kasa na wakasa o say baby e de ne call ya no. Onimu bia o. Really? Yeah. Do you have to know everyone?
Yeah.
On our university campuses, we have UTAG members that are MPP, that are NDC. They do contributions. It's the fact that you don't see people on radio or on TV shouting like the way you are shouting, following Choboy. They sponsor with their own resources.
Yeah.
Inti so ko baby na wo hwe nipa na nim na wo hu ne da. Enkyere se we stranger as in the way she is putting it no. In the first place
no say. Sa nkomo no anope wudi se nkofo de obusika boa. Omo di sika no ba. Eni ye nya twobuefo am omo amfa sika na ankoye adwuma. Enkasa plus no wudi.
In the he say
position nya for twobuefo nkwa. Positions in your for boy for one.
But your boy for the Zomunya, the old to throw it.
And to the American said, the number said, with on only issue, no say, only more mono. It's neither here.
Have to know everybody to be able to work with the person.
Because, your colleagues in Baby, I mean, I'm speaking from the academia. Yeah. Omu to talk t-shirts, this I in now. No, almost support 2 things. Almost support out, a bit more minimum for Tescom, more cars. Yeah, some of these student executives. Yeah, nobody na munkrasi campaign. If you think, say, say they see you on television, they hear you on radio, it's an excess una we member. And I say una we jument bibi I am fama unkwa onya na also unkwa na udia enye. In any case, you can say omo ye registered members of NDC. So far, NDC MPP will be in our publishing idea. And keep it will say, oh, we were 2 million registered members. We were 3 million registered members. Now, when I say Abana Yakoto, if NDC had 5 million plus, or NDC registered members, they are not. A lot of people voted for the party, and if you are NDC, even if you are a national president, you have just 1 vote. Other people voted for the government to your party to be in power. Inti se to boy ye hwene saa yi no ne ye ka se me na me ye party ni hwani party ni di okura card na di onenam campaign ase ana di ono kwa akopesika obi mu so omo ti ache party ya yifo ye wo research na yifo omo teams omo abonti omo akire o when they come to radio omo na che omo say na mo kwa am kasa fa say now your line of argument eti e wo koye it is the fact say unhu no TV so unte ne nka wo radio so enche say sa nipa no wonye party member. And in any case ade we na ye hypocrites all political area ni munna no say oppositioner yes e was ye kuntia winner takes all you was ye kuntia winner takes all. Now you are in power. Who cried and umpe winner takes all person within the party no one yes ade ni na ye de emma and the MB say won say kojo say eba appointment ewo aban mu a menye sure say appointment a president betimi aye apart from general recruitment ebebro 50,000 so we cast we appoint CEOs MCs ne say you ko board we so and do 50,000. If NDC won with area over 5 million na ye fan say 5 million the mukra 2 million a registered NDC members obia nyabi. It's a what's yes, sign adwene they join a party any one say base ye chama party for one obia nya dey enyabi.
Omasem ne say you nim Dr. Free. Ni nim say Dr. Free ye som ye. Dr. Free ye su nim ye. Inti pe mama Dr. Free ye. Na ye ba Dr. Free ye hu say na ye ne na wo fom ho. Na nkrofo no amafa wo mo adwuma no. Omo nim ye. Inti ye duru ha, wo bisa say na ho ani.
Enti unim Dr. Free obi su nim doctor say enti the fact say unim Dr. Free ye fa Dr. Free ye ko ye kire say me ha me say e de makọ ho no me so obi nim me so crofo nim me but what you say sana e wo say hu no but e wo say ye hwe no yi asoman na ye start reorient ye ho adwene ye de join political parties no nke wo say ye kwa akosum o man Ghana. But the name say yen kwose ye kwa kwaso o man Ghana na ye kope bibi nti. E ya hwe primaries no. Na say baba jama de ye ba. And you had certain MPs, hypocrites, ni colleague no mo kwa. Why na betimi aka se wakwa kope MP. Na wan to bibi one more delegates at least 500 cities. Now, in fact, even on our university campuses, you will host a be or one top on show my own and walk away campaign.
You are not serious.
Oh, yes, I point or pointing more. One no student, you are whole president. You will host a be or quite what the appointee, I am Kuno, the cock, and Sunny Amanaquam campaign.
Wow.
It is any power, you know. Would you say a dream ain't was so open be doing him? Say I was a copesica, a typical ponche, a quarter more, a debre more, a be one mamma musica jama, and yes, and woman in nan. Would be this one. Would you this a private or fast artist Akano? And our Father Christmas. When Father Christmas. It is a year and ye, near and ye, I be near and who say, ah, I didn't yes, say, Sika, air quack. Na wudi sika na echi a wo akoto yi ama nipa na oji ni sika wono so kwa wo ye ba dwenva no se wa ambo na brabo yi bebi sanis na opanyin ye de ne ko ade na otimi ye na busuafo ni kuromfo be ka se enti ye be koso abo man ne kro no kakra saa na ye be wie na o man na abo ye wi a ne ye se ko blemi nipa A nipa B nipa C ena me stands the Minister of Interior are taking with Senko be no pepe sadia anka KOJO nkebe me de say yemfama omwa they are fit for purpose ebeboa irrespective of the any government edi kan ye ya this aptitude test ya omudi abai so omo ye ne fenchem ne de afa nkrofo a
they are ready
they are ready. They are committed. They know what they are about. And yes, will be offer. KOJO MARFO now a frere honorable Muntaka near the neko. Ubi okra wonye fit physically or even medically. Kura wonye fit. Ubi also kura nagene. The way we see gene. The kasamu and nancy. Who was a wonye fit for purpose in the security service. I am a kasa same way or other places I make us say. Metina kemu after COVID in 2001. Ne fi Kuffour if Kumasi Kuffour na ka ni mu na me ne one lady pe na na ye civilians apparently no mu ye new police recruits and no mu base o Kuffour na nkomo omu di wo ka ni mu no into you obisa who say can these people gather intelligence senior omu di nkomo ate se omu ye late omu kwa de oye in charge no obi timi ka se wono de okwa wo man 10 cedis obemu awura ma wor then I was like inti ya tika ni mu mienu no mu ni ya mu yamfa say you were a group and you came to join inti ya team no mu ni ni pa ban nipa nkrofo na mu di omu nkomo ebubo omu din e wo ka mu no it was a sub group we mu na no se nko yo obi pa nke bi ya de ne file rigorous test mu a kibe hunu say akon the way na adwene osi ekasa our analyzing no man wonye fit for purpose to be a security officer but you will find some of them in this form there abrasu abu hunu say ye wo into the ye security services services officers no they are different omo amuko career ne sa official omo ye different. What is a year obi ko bu obi ko misbehave do na abu say sa January recruit omo a ebi won say the proper training bi na ebi ya de ane na mu a yesi o yetimi ka at the point in time na obi timi ka say oh wo de 30,000 20,000 be de be mo akọ police recruit and military but the NDC youth no ma omo en ko bebre nye de bebre because omo campaign message when they were in opposition, say Omoba Amudi and no more be gugu akwem, so that people that qualify will be recruited. It is a one making that promise to Ghanaians, not Ghanaians at Wamawa. It will be so something different. Young fama omo qualify here. Omo obi wo no ma. Me say aptitude test ne say. Me say the results ni bi kirewa. I say teachers ye introduce you a license. Now we call marking, now we invigil. Basic numeracy, any literacy. Obia, was so person or better idea no. See the script and then ma na ya market the mawa. Why obuba from. And to we say a year pa at least you be wunu nkrofo ma dwene mu da. And in any case, now our security services, it's not about osonwa. It's not about say we to mabu obi aye. Now intelligence, artificial intelligence. Share Israel, America, Iran. It's intelligence, data, any science, any idea. Usun was na drone pia na jai missile atoa. Usun wane ne ukura car amoka die ne be. Enya hwe. It is a say here omo a omo adwene mu da ho. Omo betimi adwene yie. Ene omo ba ye security services ne saa ye dwuma mu na. Enti eno de memeka se ye so ye be support to Minister of Interior. Say about with our security ne pa dia. Yes na omo a. Omo mfa those that are fit for purpose. Omo ka say ye ntomamo enyo omo nkwa na etoma omo. There are other Ghanaians who are more than them that voted for them. That if they do those right things now, omo ye ne said omo sika say omo be ye na omo sabe to omo. It is also omo say omo be the right thing na. Ye say omo be the right thing and that you know. Na ye maame Anita de wonya abotre. Na party ni munkrofo bebre wo hono mo so bre o kura de an point o munko ba bia na metie dey wo se ba ko ye frɛ no e ma no 500 cedis so an meeting and ba ko 1400. What were you expecting? Say you can say be to a certain board so you will be only given a stipend or an allowance for the meeting.
Yeah.
It is a uko meeting na university me senior man betimi aka say uko meeting e bi oni say you come out 300 Ghana. If you want to say you come out 200 Ghana, it's one kaka say, and now muko meeting one money a mile. Already laid down procedure. Yeah. What amount where you go for certain meetings you'll be given. It's no crime you won't say. Ya dwene e de corporate position ni bebre se ye kwa kopesika. It would any kasa muni na na so no esusu se baabi sika wo ho sen baabi ono no. Ntinka ono no ne yemfa ono mumu nkɔ ho no ono mumu nkɔje. Na wo no ebusuya baako eburo na ye de bi ye dokono na ye de bi aka banku na ye de ebi aya akole na no de ye de ukose ye de koye banku di a wo se da bi mi yemfa nye banku yemfa nkɔ ye kuku yemfa nkɔ kamole kuku enye saa na e wo se ye hwe ye no ma no
right ye gusu a ye di nkomo anopay fache television so na o hwe yen ye de daybreak dwumadie na ebrewi nkomo no egusu a ekoso kai say a voice note or text message and a WhatsApp messages no or the bebre na ye no wedding komo sa pepepe na ye no ene yen enkasa boya mane ma ye hu se de nkomo no eko na bibia enko kama emfama here we do what we do right and we ensure that bibia beko kama so at the amount AD Auto Car Rentals AD Auto Car Rentals na yeno edin komo na ya kire se de niema no etie AD Auto Car Rentals wadaroma ofa ye wowi won na ason ya sen ama ye de ebrel AD Auto Car Rentals got you covered se ubedu asantemantamu ubedu kumase afahye bi na wokɔ dwumadie bi na wokɔ ase waware ebre na aso ayie na wokɔ ufiri asante akɔbia ye fofora ubehia car na ode anante AD Auto Car Rentals ebeboa na womo ama car comprehensively insured na ede wanante. The comfort is the exciting part of it anunti any AD Auto Car Rental in nkomo one were airport runabout one ben DVLE Children's Home. It's just a call away at the airport and AD Auto Car Rentals. Everybody know be foul. Now no family no, no business community no. One the work of baby bia or person oko. Now we are so be who say. Yenya ya wahai, ye will be strong at the mount. AD Auto Car Rentals. One ason ya sing ama offend ye de ebro. Prez 0244 063391 0244 063391 and 0266-439327. If for shaggy reasons you want to show off, just give us a call. We'll give you a car big enough, strong enough for you to show off. For shaggy reasons, I no pay. May I lie? Why? Prince March.
KOJO, Major.
To say, Ghana man, no. And yafe di agro kra o ye no den anope nkomo e wo fidua mu aye di no menim se wonso obete wonte ho ewom party for say won na de party no aba ban mu ti won de party ba ban mu a ese se omhu ehun sunsanso no wo abrabom omo kobia ya ese mpanimfo wa ese se omhu ho ewo ho se adwuma ba wo mo chefa ewom no yemfama wo anya hwe Ghana fo aye didi na aban papa aba no omo so omo na de aban papa no aba ti aden ne yeyi omo aye pamu na wo mo so adodode ewom no yem wo mo ni ono wo ya adwen nkomo no wo mo di ne kwan so ano
KOJO be chetie for omajipe ne hwe na no pe na on nkomo no metie kam se na me wo backstage na metie nkomo na nkomo ni di no ne kane bibia wo kakra KOJO untumi nka nkyerɛ me sɛ the NDC youth a obrɛ no ene osese na ho kyerɛ na mane nka adan a yebu man KOJO techiman South ni pewu when NDC was in tatters 2016 ene sa floating voters now almost say yes resetting when they turned their back against the NDC it was the base and the core of the party. And you could have party in the do and then this I corner and as our floating voters now say I flip your baha almost say it's yin. That make a winning say a million boom mine. But let's see, Madam Anita Samano worker. KOJO. And the NDC to me doing outside the box and you be dear and what boys because if it's about Ghana for MPP 40% now, NDC 40%. Almost Ghana for answer na floating for now be make a difference no. So our party lose the core any base now where our party are dead on the ground. Ye ko campaign how many do amoko? KOJO. Say ne ye boto boy how many ajeso. And you say aboto boy ajeso man aye wa kono. Se GM ba how many dikadi moto ni di animu ba hwehwe ho no mu ba ye panafilela no ne ade ma wo ko gyina za okutie GM. Na ya ewe nyina na yese se komodin ne ye kyire mu a yese ma yenka sese baby ese ye ka but eno kyere se e wo se mpanimfo a KOJO utie ground me be me ne the research officer of Bantama Khalifa Farouk edi nkomo me ne John Kisamu nyina didi look they are my guys the issue is that KOJO offer phone cry free appointees or monfa you don't even receive your calls you don't even pick ti ono se ne obi edini nkwa twaso techiman South ebi edi pepper spray ebi edi dem ebi do mo nkwa twaso na wabeye minister na ye fra mpo de kansem dem po to yakoma so kra umpeke ene wo mu a perceived no mo kaseti aban na wo mu na adan a yeso so mo so kwa hey NDC basa MPP got to a time na say ya boys ni kan yo mantie eno no mo ne enti de ya gan say NDC ni o qualify by yemfa no adwuma mu hono no sa konya de ba bi ne ye pa NDC ni so ba yemfa ma ne nye ono so ga na ni de ya kan say NDC for be bresu kura competence wo kuro yi mu kura certificate obi nko school nchen obi ana obi nya nipa nchen obi sene nsuo ya sa na wi abaye reset na no nkyere say NDC ni ba ma na duane nti ya reset na ne sa o efiefo kom de omo ma bontinfo aduane na sa na yebu man efiefo kom de omo ma bontinfo aduane hwehwe ni mu say o pese o ye fada mo pese mo ye fada for all o fada for all for why na o fada for all for
or fada for Ghana for
you see o bewie no nipa na o pese o support no o pese uwe ne heart no nyame amwa ni mu no ene utie Madam Anita so utie ni interview ni ya e kire se ehwo na wo no na kasa kra no on feel safe because omu ho ni trimu ye extra say a bass ne decision be one so mu take at the bois benya. You not knowing them, you can't even think with them.
But how is that so? Because omwa yebe yi wo no mampani na ehwe na wayi wo. Disa mampani hwe na yi wo mo de na che so mo ye nkrofo a mampani wa hotoso se won betimi aye adwuma ye de ama wo ana anya sa.
Rakojo. Maminchia Mayor of Kumasi. In one of one interviews, I say one as another host. Or see or buy who said the homeboys in the doors. The next will create one special force to be to accommodate the boys. Sabina year count. Say when you to me their appointment in a way. The vote of the master or the king is one. That of the servant too is one. And my young so be and this nature will be no be aberration will be boys no. Omodo mon kwan omo ka ne to ho ma party no. When you people are in V8, they are on the ground in the heated Ashanti region. Omo e de do omo kwan ejina police station e bo ballot no ho ban. Na wo nya position we yenti wontum enwene bibia. You cannot create anything. Na say wo sa. Yeah can no. Eni oko manifesto ni mu a omo policies accommodation for teachers in the CC. Send this mo many brain omo yes on best strengthen eno a. Wonim dia nka be ye. Over the street bia na yesi dan no a. The party can identify the artisans omoye NDC for omoye polling agents omoye party for our polling station one no ma sorted like graduates kakra mo so mo ko sa ye ka no ye nka say ye mpam obi a o but ye kire ne say the opoto ama na fionchi so odi bom na mo kase ye mfam bom bi ye be kura te polling say na be duro mbehu opoto ama na fie wie ba mo pam ye say pam ye e ye nka ho te ye nka ho an say we be ndi apoto manafe nipa de nkwa atwa so masa to get percentage na nisi fo nya Ashanti region mako donya djuma keto wo ha campaign omuzo muntie o kasa omuzo mu view to win them look sa ye be wi abeka se na muntinsim na wa ba wo power anya hwe na ye chance wa ba masa de ya kwa ne so wa ba po ne kom de wo na ya obi de ko ba be down because wa ba wo power wa so nim se wunya hwe see opportunity sa ba ne so a mo de ye hwe ni pesi ya shoes e buy na o ya show akire Dom Hammer his excellency one kai na accommodation cry to obeti an kwampu de to no one kai he took the boys o kai time e buy say o say JM ni fie bibia why is this man say e be ban these boys are the boys talking and I must say o mo for masam ko go are you oh yeah so go are you there ate so go are you ayate o kan ate because look these and these guys that we are talking about. Omuti krom hanu. Do na so ko school pa o. Me se me ne kasa din kon me ne California din kon no pe me ba omu se me ba. These people are masters. They have a degree ben omuni bi. Yen kasi yen pam obi ba yese mun dwini outside the box. Mun mene. Think. Mama o my example. Mama o my example. Say me hu se boys ne di machine doors. Was four boys amini mo kumase for. Let me create something. The little that come into my hands, maybe the little that comes in. What you are is all the way we are sorted. You see, I buy no. Na buy na mo asama na can I am busy making. Him. He campaigned vigorously against the party. Mommy, you see, say na say ye be krokro no be ye no say a hard boys ne papa. Ye frem amonfa. Ye frem amonfa. But wo mu a who pleasing why? Why not so pleasing? Who pleasing if I corner no ya against so pleasing why? Many Americans say competency is key. But even in the discussion of competency, there are NDC who are equally competent in this country. You can't agree.
Enti mimi say enti ase a omu nya no say obi de program proposal project ekọ abanya so ye bi na project ni bibia ebeboa o man no ebepeja o man no a yen hwe se nipa na odi proposal no aba no oye party ba na onye party ba de a maye mwa na
brakojo ese eboa no ba yen kan hunu se campaign ban sa election win aba san komoyi me say you can downplay it and say I'm not making sense. But a typical politician who understands that politics is the game of numbers understands this conversation. yen kase ma yam wo bi ntie be kire say against for nkwa na wa adwe na omde aba na against for nkwa rakojo they be against for nkwa na de adwe na ba against for nkwa na de adwe na ba eti komenti in for bi fa adwe ma ye papa ya support what you saying against for nkwa look unim say otima yimu obeboa man ne da ache enyiwanim en condemn ba ko enjira ba ko achi gina mfimfini ehu se o gina mfimfini minim say your center left your center right ye tie nyina obie kan komo na utie nkomo na you know how obie gina ye nyina ewom but say o je wadwen say ye do election time wadwen ne utiri mu pone nkomo a wudi no e shift tilt vote ni ko ba bi wia na oma party for ne brewie e do mo wi twa so wie na aba na ka chem so nkwa na wa idea doso idea say doso rakojo pa idea sa lectures wa o make proposals boys na tro o make sure no megu chef so bebre nya against for nkwa na wa ideas rakojo
the conversation well anunti ne yema wakwanya say bra wo hwe no nso de ewu ne wote de opese o kira adwen wo ho no na woni edi ho nkomo fache television so na ye we ebre ti say dem de ato anim na AD auto car rentals wa daroma se nkomo no eye ohwam eye ofa won na enam ema ye de ebrew AD auto car rentals won wo airport runabout wo ben DVL children's home just a call away ombeba be foul na omde wako baby esese omde woko enkomo no fa baako eno no de tosu mienu a ye gibre na yedi eye his excellency President Kuffour ena wadi nkomo bi ye hwe video no na afi yamra
out of necessity must blossom from the seeds of its own success. There is a particular kind of leadership that Ghana must now usher in, building on our collective endeavors, one that understands the difference between noise and signal, one that resists the lure of slogans and insists instead on evidence, on historical precedent, on the patient work of institution building. My own political tradition has always held that governance without knowledge is a gamble. Dr. Dankwa was a philosopher. B.J. Darocha was a jurist. Professor Buzia remained a scholar even whilst governing, and the rousing speeches of J.H. Mensah grew from years of learning and research on the front lines of governance. They understood something fundamental, that the work of thinking and the work of governance can never be separate activities. They are indissolubly two strands, or if you will, conjoined dimensions of the same responsibility. This is what I see when I look at the roster of speakers you have assembled for this webinar. Scholars who have dedicated their lives to understanding Ghana's literature, its political formations, its social structures, and its gendered realities. Their insights don't form to be squirreled away in journals until discovered years from now by other scholars. They circulate, they inform, they challenge the lazy assumptions that often pass for public debate. This is the role of the academy in a functioning democracy, and it is why your work deserves both resources.
Be a course so na Mampeni Kuffour Edinin Sem Ekoye ma yeken kaimano. So utie His Excellency. And some President Kuffour kano say say baby ayabedu no. Yemu bia mrebi. Ubia si so ye hwe no oh yenta na chi mo mra. Meanwhile memu aye ka ho asemi so obi bedi Mampeni ana ye ma obi tumi no. Ehia nimdie adwene nyansa ene sede ye no but o se dan sen o hwemu din a as obi aka ho bi ntie ma obi akwan obi aka ho bi ye ma obi akwan no emo ama mamu enko sede sese ko doctor say President Kuffour nkomo no
ma follow eti say o hwe nipa na won di sa nkomo na no won no say ade a wo se etwe adwene ekoso ye President Kuffour will be as a technocrat, as a young lawyer in those times with politics, or he will be also earlier. And he will a certain experience. I did you or they buy a flag bearer. The call first one winning, call second time were winning. And when he won, there is a certain legacy. And then a lot of people who are in MPP say, okay, say, Ubisane said, the 18 or MPP money say, you know, okay, anything about President, MPP, or we pointed to, oh, President Kuffour did that, he did this, he did that, what you say, or buy what you say. Then so we will be with experience, you know, or a lot of experience. Now, some of our can say, I'm nimdie anana yemfa nyansa na ebu ana nimdie na edibu no ayek se wo to chacha na se o bo chaskele ayi ne se menene ya adwene ana se menene nya adwene menene ye adwene because amemu sam enye ade ya agoro enye ade ya omoka mo se matra makwe say try and error ye koso ahwe ebe ye ana se enye ye se unim de ye ka se unim de ya enya ha no kora enye yenhwe nimde ne keke as in knowledge keke the right application of the knowledge ka bia etafre ni nyansa ana wisdom. There is no aspect of ye or mine will beat me at this year from our security services, our health, education, agriculture. Sa no mani na ye hia obi a wo nimdi a obetimi aye sa adwuma. Obetimi aye sa adwuma no so no nipa ba ko nko aso ntimi nye sa adwuma no because wo nipa ba ko ntimi nye health expert, enye education expert, enye security expert, enye economy or economic expert. Itu be hia nkrofo bebre. Itu be hia nkrofo bebre no. Die ne nkomo a wo kire ni nan se tembia no enye se bia yesi oh we a member we nya member nti na nipa no woni the technical know how ana woni akoma to obo okra on ade bebre ye bu ya ni gu so even soft skills. You can have the technical know how but woni a very good interpersonal relationship with people. Unye a team player, untimi ni nkrofo bebre nya adwuma. Enti obi wo no ma, ade bi wo no ma even at a glance no, ko bia beka sa kwa we betima ye die we. Nanso ni suban bi nti. Ana de we a untimi ni adam nkrofo enya adwuma and achieve the same goal nti. Ye ntimi mfa sa adwuma no emma asmesi. Na ni na ya ne free knowledge aye President Kuffour ka ho asem no. To say earlier on worry I say of course we MPP ni to obebubo UP for penny for or mobile their contributions and their professional background, meaning say even before the politics you know na omo wo bibia omo ye omo dey trained in certain fields but say there na yehunu ebi mu o career politician go see so no won share that enye wonu adwuma bia in a specific trade area and kebeka say we were into agriculture, we were into banking and finance, we bia were into health, were into but now no the mama need say currently so we had a crop of politicians around now ubo say bi mu adodo na abi o no ma build a certain capacity dada. And I say even no nyambe ye opanyini pa bi a certain area umu na akwa sorry we ka say nipa we wo ye the area say sa nimdie ni hia pa nya sa tembia no won say with campaign ubetimi aye a lot of slogans 1D 1V 1 day state 1 dam now I can say AFIA SHS no I can say ya a better implementation, no. Now when you certain challenges, 24-hour economy, utia the resetting, but it goes beyond the slogan. Once you win power and you are the helm of affairs, you need people that have the technical know-how, people that have the soft skills, and people that can achieve whatever purpose more achieve as a government or based on the kind of manifesto model ebae Inti media mene President Kuffour ya adwene wo ho se eni se our political area no eni se de mema obia keke wo se de ma nipa wonimde enra echi na me cha de o class na me students ni bi kasa se bi wa so ya say oh politics is not good and as a politics enye me catch me students say me student bi a me share obia me catch us politics here pa eye pa se wo dream se wo ye ni papa get into the politics because whether you like it or not it is the politician the worrying power one no be control security one no be control health one no be control educational sector inti se wo ka se politics enye and as politicians enye inti if you are a good person don't get into politics who are the even politicians enye mene wa ene bi ko join ni MPP ebi ko join ni NDC ebi ko join ni CPP ebi mu ko join ni afrafranto inti se until say ye na ye dwen say ye nimde ni ye say nim say ye betima ye papa no ye di ehun be wura into the body of our politics we are very fine gentlemen omo at the both divides of the political year o usia na otumo say you've met a nice person I was saying him de obetimi aye de eye ejuma nti ya ye wo oman ni mu na no at any point in time yen hwe se basi ye kwa akoyi obi a yen koka se we na me hwene wa we na me ni free kromba ako we na me ni free emmom ne ye de akwa akoyi nipa no na yen hwe bisa ye ho se nipa no wo kwa wo ye obi ebetimi de adwuma na ma na obede obetimi aye normally enye just about even qualification with qualification said na mean you say kai so when you get to our university sir when you tag omo ye NDC here ana MPP here bu say top management ne say ni na obetimanya a professor in say the specialty ya wo ye panyinikase pa in an area omo wo all the device enti say ba qualification there obi a obi but there was a bisa ne say nipa no wo ye koduru no ana ase wo nimdie na obetimi e dia ya ma oman because at the end of the day no ni na ye hwese oman ni be yeye oman ni be yeye so a eye good leadership a omunim de omo pese omo ye a omo betima set objectives omo betimi achieve within a particular time so wonim na dia nimdia obetima ka se o meye say I will recruit 1 million people, 100,000 people in first 100 days. Ne say, ubeba be drew or the ama ayinima uya, a jumano or a here wunya. A jumano, away, ne goes a wunya, a jumano. So the area security a ye crowd the eke. 2 GD say the way is oriented. A war, SS. So security a year, I'm some basic a year, SS. Any universities. Senkia oriental senka nyini uwie na wo wa wo koseti apadwuma no wa for obi a ye benya nkrofo over 400,000 am apply so mo ko security job akoya ebi enduru 2% nipa ye be fa enduru 2% because adwuma no do bebre ni ho na ya adwene mu na ye se me ko wie school ana me ko suansa na adwuma me wi a me kwa kopa aban adwuma aye aban adwuma no ye na ye nkom ye na
if people understand this then we would not have some troubles ye na ye femono Dr. Osei Nkomo no the Prince Maminsan Emra ho President Kuffour raises a number of issues and for some of us if you say Nkomo no assess ye na engage ye ho no should all party positions come through an election should it be how much money awo yen shas ye na yen hwe nimdie ahoden nyansa kwan ye nipa no ebetimi di aboa na
KOJO medasi bi ba o me sre bisa kakra mampeni dada afi na wotufu se yen hwa na se over the years yan hwe ana afi na ya hwe nti yen to aso
I'm sure his narrative the concerns are ever in recent times. The fact that there's too much of influence who send for tau be a chi and then beg gidigidi. Who beside who say, in their own closet, are they convinced that any pay would depart in any more constituency anymore beboa, would depart in any more at the regional level beboa, at the national level, even at the national positions? Beboa.
Okay. Me fair free say, ye problem near say leaders are a chem any their what is CCA or me fail some benya a clear national policies. Clear national policies are a bit develop your mind we say. Look, on my papa being who we are here, or meet me developing with party manifesto. Party manifesto are crafted to meet the current situation to win vote. And the Kaya, former President J.J. Rawlings, or Division 2020 by. Sabi, what kind of draft now? New man no pesi achieve the rural electrification. Ya the idea woman na yemu say yetumi achieve ana. Yetumi achieve ya den. For President Kuffour, it define policies are na ohwe bia na enye meant for the current situation at the time. But now ye crafted for the future. Nen to aso ko si say. Look, my mention say free say. Abra former President Kuffour by no. Anu who said that we have to strengthen the basic school. Into FQ now constitution when I say hwene mukena and the capitation grant by or the buy no the school feeding be kan ho se na be ya akrabi nka say aduane into one school and him say what is the state of the capitation grant, what is the state of school feeding? And the school feeding being in Ghana, no junior high school in Ghana is on school feeding, it's primary schools. And Accra now even primary schools company no money na selected enti enkura wagane nyina omo ye nkura nyom nya ne didi. Junior high school nkura omo ages near 12 to 14 obi en didi public school but SS4 didi. SS ni na or 17 18 or 2 aban odidi. Now enu firi hono wo hwa Yura John Dramani Mahama or the E-block by. The idea was to ensure say at least anya hwekra no akra de se wo school nemum emeye mfa akra nko school man ho nkɔkyere no terebone and also akra nko school no fo na fu na nkɔtwere na nkɔtene fi asan kai sana me hu no because situation obekomu wo school honom no enye situation e de mani pada sani so wongo sua de emfa mebɔ bra enti yenye enti oye obeduru ba bi no government e baaye no nto aso there was a gap be break kan wrem ene eti free SHS undoubtedly is one of the best policies, but free SHS was not crafted to solve unemployment. If it was meant for unemployment solution now it's like free TVET, na grammar school, ne born out. TVET no, akwani ria or skilled or will be crying sem on the dire by, but politics in tea. Yes, see, ni nyina free. Ni nyina free a grammar school na fancy one. We are unemployment piling up. And here it is here again. In the end, the black woman was say, "O my, I see a what planners are what professor for mono winning the church on crack and woman. Your wires a crying and I can say it too. Nay, what the move requiring when I am buha near to yen track my munko. O my be anyone wow, mucho more Guinness Shamaya Benisa. Tell me, because I question initially. Say, the Amampeneda there Canadian. Say sana etie dia mimi hu ne saa e man ne daba obi aba no odwene how obetuma nya vote ne ene pe na odwene onwene chena because even planning see a planning man a how say ye e kwan a ye be ye nim say future e kwan highway dual carriage near the a farmer will be a stores later or yes ye ba be tu tie bebubu. Maya ye planning a professor for a planning send him therefore by a planning. How say on my team, it is one of our basic and pressing need a housing. Social housing may a topical issue in this country da. Almost so some afafa. You almost saw my saglamia kwesi say. And now me no kase asokoro manpo. You must say is that affordable housing really affordable? Enti ye no nyo me pressing and ye pressing my ye. Aduane a problem. Nya aduane was na yakofa nto so about nipa kokowi. Say what man mu wonim say animdiefo say na knowledge at former president Kenya. Maslow theory of needs a say ni pe hia aduane hia atare hia bi odi nti beto ehia che bibia wiase ma yenye ho hwe nto so be se kokokra ne nipa kwa akowu yeti kuro yi mu yi how many textile companies na buy point na say ye improve how many ye China infiltrators abe no ma beje no ma gu adwuma no nti me de safi ne ye be there fine but SHS former president Kuffour dey 4 years by statistically omu twa batch bia ekosi sen ye dane no because of politics 4 years in the door so ye nyane tell me while see ye be quality dia Kuffour dey better changing no tie mind dey say that change asem David ene ya anene galam so ayetui omu reason ya den ene di wie nenso ne saya nchirima ba no manye nso no man fa that is the mentality ti omu so omu fight galamsey ne no why are they reluctant uti MPP from come omu say galamsey no omu tackle so hard ne with fist and iron hand no e kan omu lose election and na uti NDC dey call so a unso omu say like adese say yes because ordinary it and they really meant to crack down ensuring sustainability of this country in terms of your forest and sustenance going forward but the be ya na ibenya vote intiman penida da se na wo ho na wo hwe de cost wo man say nsuo mpo ye say no the poison gum anu mawu because ye see a pesca na e kire wo man kro na wo ka ho asem man kro ni the KOJO media to be very honest with you for knowledge we have a lot of people even with ministers I appoint you parties in the bar even within or more party in the corridors what we say your Kuffour ni bo no ma omo ye meant for the job in the party but the connections from unya appointment say ka say nka yen crossing Kuffour bi oni mumbra nka no so ye but even within the party crowd no obi qualify and farmer no na wa akiri nti ye mind the KOJO edabadaba we left ti ye sorry anopa na ya ye bia na ya ne akwakoda ade acha ne asaba ba ye bia ne aso ne akofi ne akwakoda because what ti man mu na nsuo sei na entumi cracking nsuo down me no we disam come weapon nti we sure say Ghana we to share say we to defend here there be Ghana man si ya ye ntumi embo ye nsuo say oni o man bi nya ntokwa the first no target ye nsuo because nsuo no nya say nsuo ne no you don't even need to even use any missile on them. By poisoning their waters, you are done with them. You finish them. Yen kasi etime mu Kuffour bi de abroadwene sensuo say di e tikoma de samana na nam ho for home because you do election. Is our mind we nim de ben bi na aka abra kodu.
Dr. Free.
Yeah.
Nim de leadership. President Kuffour gets worried about the kind of leaders who are coming out of our system. You be anything?
What President Kuffour can sometimes, who said President Mahama Akufo no asaba into a car simbia. Maybe he was on a mistake. But our continent by mistakes be all repeated, be our own repeated. Until when people are speaking from experience, there's a whole lot of things different between say will be casa from experience, no be all casa from it be only experience, and I say all casa from. And ye be like say be so for be our married and normal counseling. So I say who say I don't know. There will be difference when somebody was married and Oma counseling. So, into that perspective, it drew baby a here pa. So, President Kuffour making that statement. On your opportunity, be a sama bem, on your bibia, but he might speaking from be a wakotnefi, waba bem, why opposition, oh yes, waba bem, what nefi, and what a governance system. And this statement now President Kuffour making, honorable chairmen are making that statement. Say, I think about a month ago in the interview. Say, command ki biti mi akwa ni mupa. But the way you didn't professional baby without say omuni certain knowledge or background bintino. And he was even mentioned ministers. say o pick minister. Na minister any idea of the ministry that is going. A very critical anti yan share or money and share the year. Say bia, but who's attorney general they call their Jose Nipa background and the but somebody going for trade. The person has not have any background in trade. Now because the chief director no one and man that advisor. Enti waka was say no wasn't here faster. But because says how we na momo yentimi nyenintino and my yenti because the minister is a chief advisor to the president based on the area near their man. The person doesn't have any knowledge, any background. So how does that person advise the president? So, sometimes maybe we need to think through. The president and then what baby chairman no, we are not looking at that. So what if he no time the time the constituency? No. When people go through a process, now what in China or can be which because maybe that's why I said say be no him say baby or one no nim my mistake. But at the end of the day, no, but is
it not worrying and to say chairman and they are okay? If you want to assess an individual and you are looking at it like the constituency then or yeah now OMP our constituency then is all your
I
have a difficulty with the understanding of what should happen.
Yeah.
The constituency then is all against you. Oh, my asphalt. Now MP Ben a bit me asphalt walk the crew.
Won't see hospital.
Or the DSK. So then a facilitation and 7 year can another. So a facilitation there when who said when Jinam Rashe Kasa but advocate for the constituency, that would be justified. But me and your quine nipa no chiches come here the mantemu a central government. I have a difficulty when people say the minister or born a home modern or the day and born a home modern. They are buying the Ashan and Sassonia. Yeah. And all Shaman this is what Shama buying the so ya now born a basso are fine. By Oko ministry, why is it or the Wazika? If they are doing well, then it's the government policy that is working right.
Yes.
But really the kind of leaders we are producing today in this country, maybe Antina President of our concerns.
Oh, yes, definitely. We say, we share a lot of even crowd agencies, state agencies in the Prana. People, or even the minister, or even the president. Your area, like a clear state agencies, sports authority, why? Whatever. You can't be creative and innovative enough to change that small area. Maybe many president Kuffour Yadwin.
This is chief executive.
Yes. Me ha ya kwa membo di ntude bi yesu
bi ya fe na me hwe wo
she said they can say or that leverage of understanding even the local government system or how I also lead the bia we na you see the way I said na Dr. Sekan and remember more no about physics or whatever is here Nimdie. And to kwa no my example Israel ni hwan yedi nimdie na ya ade no yedi AI na ekwu. So if the person doesn't have those basic requirements, how would the person translate government policy into reality? So when there was some policy answer say nyoma bia, we will have a lot of we might see that we are doing something better, but we are not doing nothing. And that is a challenge.
Whilst I have a concern with all positions being elective, I get worried because, again, maybe I have appointments because of district assemblies. 1/3 now you can't necessarily government appointees. Now, the law says that you identify areas of shortcoming amongst the elected.
Yes.
Then you bring in
those people.
Personnel. In the last 15 years, all government appointees have become party people. Into what competencies? It is not to say so many competencies, but what competencies? And assembly ne lack
yeah, omode bebwa. No, that is what your critical examples be. Yes, so a government appointee or KME. KME, what are they lacking that the government appointees want to come? So what they tell, so where they you? Ubeshemuno. Na say minim Ibiana, and I don't want to say it one here now can seem to be, but you know, we're party. And yeah, share system ni and yama yamana be ye Jagina Yumni uncle. Jagina Yan uncle. And then we don't base on competence, we don't look at other areas of expertise that the person is bringing on board. And no, I prefer to send to call Yabeya. Omoku to say that Dr. Seka said, Ubi might be a UTAC Prez or lecturer. He might even be feeding the NDC regional or whatever with research data. And so you don't have to know the person before you think that the person is contributing to the party. If you are data no the monocran, and no more call grounds to the BBA. So, and you know, let's look at where our background and the knowledge to the president. We have to look at it very, very well. Very, very, very well. And why we are not moving as the faster as we thought that we are doing. A lot of, should I say garbage? Just a boom baby. And Obama president can't so bread. President can't so bread because in Kuffour to be creating problems. Well, you did not go to her. One can send him BBA was a creative problem. Because Kuffour and Nam no so being appointed into no, and also ye to me. A whole lot. Because you didn't Kuffour pushikoha without any competence, any knowledge. Ye obisu de obi sponsor obi koha because that part in the bad position or moche. Ebi a menu Prince. Who na abo a ema buy into no me de a year amount, a DVL amount. Ebi a doctor say also na abo a into so me de a National Sports Authority amount. Now Kuffour bi abanti say ni pa no competence who ni competence ni atam near the number because Mr. Dr. Sen then buy Prince is soon then buy. That is how the mechanism is. Enti once I would number no so won nim because obo a party nintino I was say you didn't fit in.
You go so aye di nkomo o my Ghana na nchichire ho nsem na ye de ebrewa no pay onso wa kwanya so obefre ya sabri na oni yen edi nkomo on 0206334646 02063344747 and pay ya bon nkomo bebre wo fidua mu ya di nkomo afa kwan a enne road safety in Shishaya Fufra, ya de bano. Ya say police ni jinawa, and whom he has to be say you license a man. Ya say Shishaya no Emma home kwayama bibia I automated into a shower, no per license, no about license number man, who queue in as I say, no, a young community mubako, and nail o jump trafficker, cameras and a bed pickle near send receipt. Said the only to not breach and say, yeah, no. Na wako tua wade ECG said the enkofo afa so ebu omu pools hit and run ya hiti pool no pool na bu no adwane ko say no so de ka ebre wo nti apart from maintenance a ye ho adwuma no one of the challenges are wo sisi hit and run of niema so akọ Ghana police ane police penny o asantema ntemu adi ho nkomo se omumomani na homa wo mo na omunhwe kwan ombefa so a ombechichi saafo no na eno nso e de we ne ebre wo mo eno achi 5,000 people we are only picking 5,000 out of the 500,000 people who applied. These are concerns anope yedi hu nkomo baabi bia wo bia no nso obetimi akyerɛ adwen